Hey everybody, I am back again, and as you can see, I've got some of my 1958 Topps baseball cards laid out. Just recently, I was able to break down my individual player collections. I had all these cards stored by player, and then just rebuilt the collection by year. And I think it's kind of fun sometimes just to get all the cards by year together and kind of lay it out, maybe like a kid would back in 1958. Laying them out to show his friends and just looking at all the colors and the individual players, it's just a sight. Pretty awesome. I think I'm gonna plan to maybe do this with some of my favorite years of cards now that I've got the cards broken back down by year. And couldn't think of a better year to start with than 1958 Topps, loaded with Hall of Famers. Just the colors of these cards, just amazing. That's Willie Mays, Don Drysdale, Hank Aaron, Tex Clevenger. Couple nice commons. When it comes to commons, I try to get them in a near mint 7. Some of the star players, I'll definitely take them in a lower grade just because of the cost. But looking at 1958, it's probably about 12 years after the end of World War II, and all those GIs came back home, started families, and now their kids are coming of age where they're starting to get a little disposable income. Little Johnny's out there, going down to the nickel and dime store down the street and is interested in baseball at this point in his life, and so Topps really capitalizes on that market for that baby boom generation and put out some gorgeous sets. And love that 58. That's interesting that Gil Hodges shows him as an LA Dodger. They had just moved from Brooklyn to LA, and you can see they don't have a picture of him in a LA uniform. They just paint the LA on the hat there. So some very nice colored commons. There's actually 33 different variations where some of the lettering is yellow and some is white. You saw here back at this early win up here, it says white team letters. Chicago White Sox is yellow, and a few of them. The yellow ones are harder to find. I don't have any of those. They're quite expensive and rare. But some just gorgeous. Even the commons are gorgeous. Love that Sherm Lawler, him there in that catcher's stance. And then once again, the Hall of Fame guys I collect, the Frank Robinson, Brooks Robinson, Ernie Banks, Hoyt Wilhelm, two more Hall of Famers. And not a Hall of Famer, but just a great power hitter from that era, Rocky Calavito. And once again, they've got a lot of nice multiplayer cards too from that year. This one's got Frank Robinson in it. This is the only one I think with a black background that I have, this Wally Post, but it still looks good. Here's a really cool one, this Rival Fence Busters, two Hall of Famers, Duke Snider and Willie Mays. This shows them back when they're, I don't know if they're at Ebbets Field or up in New York, but both those teams moved to San Francisco and Los Angeles. And this kind of shows them back in their old stomping grounds before the move. They kind of just paint over the logos on the caps. Another nice common. And now here's a new thing they did in 58, this Sport Magazine All-Star set. So very patriotic colors in here. You've got the blues and the reds, almost like American flag, red, white, and blue, but still with that yellow base and that yellow Sport Magazine with the red writing just really highlights it, makes it pop in my opinion. Really nice Stan Musial, Eddie Matthews, Ernie Banks from the National League. Coming into some American League. See, the American League is going to be in the red, National League in the blue. Luis Aparicio, Frank Robinson, and here's a really nicely centered Mickey Mantle. It's just a VGX4, my lowest grade. I've had that mantle for almost over 6 years. Then a nice Hank Aaron, Sherm Lawler from the American League. And then the last row I want to dedicate to some of the key rookies from that year, starting here with the Roger Maris card. Pretty just gorgeous card. Both the Maris and to the right, that Orlando Cepedas. As far as rookie cards go, you couldn't ask for any better copies. These things are they're just a phenomenal looking card. And Roger Maris here in the Cleveland Indians uniform, his 59 card. He's a member of the Kansas City Athletics. And then the next year, he's a Yankee. So he moved around quite a bit as he got started. But here he is in a Cleveland uniform. Just a gorgeous card. And I think maybe my favorite card of 58, it's got to be this Orlando Cepeda rookie. There's just something about him there stretching out at first base with that first baseman's mitt. And then that just gorgeous red background and just that Orlando Cepeda in white. The Giants team logo, the yellow and the red writing down below. Just gorgeous. And then it continues here with two more key rookies, not Hall of Fame players, but these guys had many a great year. Both these guys actually went to high school with Frank Robinson at McClemens High School in Oakland, California. Could you imagine that outfield? But you've got Vada Pinson, had a long, lengthy career, several seasons where he had over 200 hits. And then Curt Flood really had his moments too. Really came on strong on those St. Louis teams in the late 60s. Two really good players also in that set. And there's some other, some key rookies in here as well, but these are the main ones that I have. So once again, 58 tops, just a fantastic year, and just having them out here as a whole, kind of makes you feel like you're a kid again, almost like you could go back in a time machine and just, hey, have your whole collection laid out in front of you. Just an awesome experience. Once again, everybody, hey, I appreciate your posting comments, and I'll talk to you again soon.